If you could go more into detail, I know you said it was like a pollution. Where did this pollution come from?
From outer realms, other dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
There's a conscious entity. They're showing it riding on. This is symbolic. This is not really how it was, but they're showing it like I'm getting like a red, human-like, demon-looking dragon. That the top of his head is, instead of hair, it's fire. And he's like laughing. We would say, humans would say evil and scary, but we understood that's not how it was.
Mm-hmm.
He's riding on a piece of like rock, I would say like an asteroid.
Mm-hmm.
He comes to Earth. It's like a big joke to him.
Mm-hmm.
To get in there, and he lands and he's running all over the Earth. I feel like you would say a naughty child who comes and spoils some other child. Another child is creating a beautiful sandcastle, and it's coming together perfectly. And another little naughty child comes along and kicks it all to pieces.
Hmm. So was he alone on this asteroid-looking type? Is it
I
kind of?
saw him alone. I saw him alone, but when he comes on Earth and lands, and he like suddenly he's many. He hits the Earth, and there's many of him all over, running around.
Mm. This asteroid-looking thing was that a spaceship?
It seems like, yes, I thought it was an asteroid, and they're saying it's an asteroid-like ship.
Mm.
What is a ship?
Were the others inside this asteroid-looking ship?
Yes, when it landed, they came.
And do they all look like him with red skin? Would you say that he's a reptilian alien?
Yeah, they're showing me his legs and his tail, like a reptile.
Mm-hmm. But is he standing upright?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now
And
they're showing him like people. Now they just look like people on Earth.
okay, so originally they look like reptilians?
Yes.
And now they look like people.
Now they look like people.
Mm-hmm. And what dimension was Earth on? What number dimension was it on when he landed?
They're saying fourth.
They were in fourth. Mm-hmm.
Earth was in fourth dimension at that time. They went backward.
Mm-hmm.
They got it. We were almost going to fifth. We were almost in fifth at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But there were problems already.
Mm-hmm.
We knew this would happen. We allowed it.
Mm-hmm. Why?
It was for the lesson. It was for the experiment. We wanted to see. We wanted to see what would happen.
Mm-hmm. And when they landed, did they hide, or did the humans see them land, or do they know how they actually looked in their forms as reptilians?
They're showing me, and this is representative, like it's representative, is somewhat realistic, but not. They're showing me like warriors with shields and swords, the reptilians changing to like warriors, and people fleeing in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like conquerors. They just, everywhere they went, they conquered the people. The people were very simple.
Mm-hmm. So was it an evolving, like they shifted into a human form, or how did they turn into humans? Human looking.
I think some were born, and some. So now I'm seeing from humans looking at them, and when they come and they land and they're here, they look more like humans.
Mm-hmm.
They look different.
So would you say that it's like a mind trick?
No,
Mm-hmm.
no, they have a form. They took on a form. They took on a form that gave them the ability to be on this planet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They could do that. They could do the physical form that was required for here.
Mm-hmm.
It was different than the humans who were here, but not that much different.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that they were reptilian form and then somehow shifted, like a shape shift into human form?
No, they said genetic. They're saying genetic engineering.
Okay. Oh, through genetic engineering. And then did they end up um intermingling with the human race?
Yes, that's what they did.
Mm-hmm. And is that why the human race has, specifically some of them have reptilian within their DNA?
There's some from the intermarriage and then also from the engineering.
Mm-hmm.
The ones who came here had advanced technology. To do this.
Mm. In what dimension were they existing in before they came?
They were fourth dimension.
Mm-hmm. So that's why it was easy for them just to come forth onto a fourth dimensional planet.
Yes.
And what if they tried to go to like a sixth or a seventh dimensional planet? Would they be able to if they're in a fourth dimension?
They can do that, but they can't do that here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And would you say that this is who's, say, running the planet right now? Why we are, especially in these sessions, we are finding, AI type technology, consciousness that are kind of like viruses in the food, in the water. Are they the ones in charge of this? Are they behind this?
Oh yes, they have been for a long time, but they're being defeated now.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly but surely, it's picking up speed.
Mm-hmm.
I see them running. Before people were running away from them,
Mm.
but now they're running away from.
Wonderful.
I'm seeing right now. It's they're showing me all of the light workers, the star seeds, everyone who incarnated here to defeat them.
Mm. But like you said, it's all one big experiment. It's part of the, you can say the game.
We wanted to see what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
We could have stopped it. But we wanted to see
Mm-hmm.
what would happen.
And I know that you're able to see in all time and space. So does something beautiful come out of this experiment?
Oh yes, in the end, it all comes together for good.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone involved.
Is there, and then when you said dragonoid, is this, I want to make sure that we clarify here, are you talking about dragons, the ones that are part of the elements, or is this a different type of dragonoids, reptilians?
Not the elemental.
No.
Not element dragon.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Beautiful. Now, let me see. There was a question I had. Are there some that are still in their reptilian original form on Earth hiding somewhere?
So they're showing me like humans that are they covered themselves with their robes when you said that. So I feel like there are hiding. There are some that are trying to hide their true form.
Mm. So you said they cloak themselves with their robe?
They covered themselves with a robe, that they're hiding themselves. They don't want us to know their true form. Then I also see people that like normal, what we would think of as normal everyday people.
What
but
percentage?
at their core,
Go ahead. Sorry. But at their core?
they said about 18 to 20%.
18 to 20% are actual reptilians?
At their core.
At their core?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are those people that you would say that they are, I want to say evil, but they're really hateful and
on Earth, many are perceived to be good people, thought of as leaders.
However,
they're not.
Yeah.
They're everybody says, oh, they're so talented. They watch them, they listen to their music. They're the leaders. In religions, in government, in the media.
So they are in leadership positions and like fame and you could say money positions.
Yes, they put themselves there and they hold on to those positions. And people don't know why we had to come here. We had to show them.
But it's, it's beautiful that you're saying that they're now running from us. Thank you. I have myself seen this as well, so I thank you for that confirmation. Let's see what else. The chemtrails. I've really been observing the chemtrails. Can you tell me what specifically what is it that they're dropping on us?
There's many things they're doing
Mm-hmm.
to hurt our environment, to hurt the people.
Mm-hmm.
The chemtrails are only a small part of it.
Mm-hmm.
They have a big effect on food, on weather, which affects everything on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs to stop soon. It will. It will stop soon.
Yes. Yes. Like, how do we get them to stop? And do you have an answer, a guidance for that? How can we get them to stop spraying our skies?
People from the inside, there are many who are moving into positions
Mm-hmm.
of influence, power.
Mm-hmm.
This is how they're running. There's a battle, there's a war, there's a war, a battle for control.
Mm-hmm.
It's going on far more than anyone realizes.
Yes.
Underneath and behind the scenes, many of the conscious starseeds, the creators like you and me,
Mm-hmm.
seem to be placed in positions of leadership and power to end this. This was the call we heeded that went out. It had to be changed from the inside, from the inside only. We couldn't do it from the outside. We had to go in.
Yes.
We had to go in Earth, and from there we had to go inside of the systems of control.
Mm-hmm.
They're breaking the systems of control down.
Was there a lot of walk-ins into some of these leaderships? Those?
Yes, there are walk-ins.
Mm-hmm.
There are many walk-ins.
Mm-hmm.
So people you thought were of the dark, who were of the dark,
Mm-hmm.
are now turning to the light. You would be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
You would be very, very surprised. They're still lining things up. I'm getting like ducks in a row before enough in position to openly begin to change the way things are.
Mm-hmm.
Humanity sent out the call. They asked for help and we helped. Gaia called us and we helped.
Mm-hmm. Are you in connection? Do you have any connection to the Ra Collective?
Yes, we are the Rock Collective.
Mm-hmm.
You know this.
Yes. Thank you. I know this, but it's always wonderful to hear from others so that we can get those reconfirmations for others to understand. Thank you. Now, let's see. Now, is there a way? Oh, so back to the chemtrail. Sorry, I wanted to finish up with that. Can you confirm in the manner of the type of what it is? Is it a, would you say like a live consciousness, like kind of like AI type? what they're spraying?
The spray activates. The spray itself is not. The spray itself is not. It activates what's been placed.
Mm-hmm. It's an activator.
An activator. They have. It's part of it. It's not the only thing.
Mm.
It's part of the process.
Okay. And what is it that they activate? Or the goal that they're trying to activate?
So children are implanted at birth,
Mm-hmm.
implanted with implants. These implants need continual fortification support aren't the right words, but
Mm-hmm.
without the chemtrails, the implants do not continue to work.
Mm-hmm. And these implants, you mean that they're implanted when? At what point are they implanted? When they were born, as they're born, before they're born? How are they implanted?
The physical implants are implanted with vaccines at birth.
Oh.
And updated vaccines
Mm-hmm.
as needed.
Mm. Thank you.
The sprays have many other effects as well. This is just part of it. Like I said, there's just
Mm-hmm.
one aspect of it.
And are these implants meant to stop their abilities? What are they meant for?
The implants numb. They can never stop. They can never stop the abilities, but they can numb with implants, with environment programming, through color, through sound, which is delivered through media, through frequencies you don't hear.
Mm-hmm.
Frequencies are everywhere. These also affect. The implants are key. Without the implants, they have much less ability to control through these environmental frequencies that they're putting out
Mm-hmm.
through the spray. So people understand the aluminum in the sprays and the fluoride in the water interact. But without the implants, the impact is much, much less.
Mm-hmm.
People understand vaccines are dangerous. They don't understand the implant part of the vaccine.
Oh, yes. Thank you for that. It is needed. This explanation was very much needed. Thank you. Now, what about, say, as a parent, you're concerned now your child has had these vaccines and they have implants within them. How is it that how can you heal them from that?
Thank you for asking this question.
Mm-hmm.
Billy did not vaccinate her children until later. She was very worried about vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Aurora was vaccinated at birth, but then she hesitated to give more vaccines for a long time and finally relented.
Mm-hmm.
Both of her kids are only partially vaccinated. This is good. If she'd listened to her guidance and not vaccinated, that would have been better. But understand that the energy fields that she and other light workers emit frequencies that counteract these to a great degree. Physical proximity to beings that give these frequencies off, vibrate these frequencies, these higher frequencies, counteract. Also, know that the implants have a lifespan. They don't last forever.
Mm.
So this is why updating vaccines is pushed for so hard.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of vaccines itself is not a bad idea. It's what's put in the vaccines that is. So over time, minimizing exposure to
Mm-hmm.
influences on the implants, which would be frequencies in the home, from television, from electronic devices,
Mm.
is helpful. But understand frequencies are being broadcast everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So minimizing what you can in the home helps, but it's not complete protection by any means. However,
Mm-hmm.
drinking pure water without the fluoride helps.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of eating organic food is a nice one, but it's very, very minimal benefit. Everything is sprayed. At this time,
Mm-hmm.
there's very little one can do to get away from it.
Yes.
Know that time will come soon where this will end.
Mm-hmm.
Non-genetically modified food will be reintroduced into the human food chain and supply. As you know, vast stores of seeds have already been stored for selfish purposes of those who wanted to eradicate human life on Earth and start over with
Mm-hmm.
only their own bloodlines.
Mm-hmm.
The Alliance against these will access these seeds and reintroduce them for healthy foods to be available once the chemtrails stop,
Mm-hmm.
once the spraying in the fields is halted. Happening sooner than you think.
Wonderful. How about say, let's see what else. Okay, so is that why they also have, for example, like the flu vaccines? They try to get the adults to do them so that they could reinsert those implants.
Yes, this
Mm-hmm.
is why.
And I myself have had experiences at the hospital I go to where I can see the doctors that are reptilians. Can you confirm this? Do these hospitals have doctors that are reptilians?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
That are working for. Mm-hmm.
yes. I really had an experience with this in the hospital one time,
Mm-hmm.
going in for routine X-ray exam.
Yeah.
He had a panic attack
Mm-hmm.
and was admitted into the E.R. briefly.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know this, but this is why, because her energy sensed the danger there. She was protected,
Mm-hmm.
but this is why. Not all doctors, you know this, only some.
Yes.
Most are good.
Yeah. And it seems like they're the ones that I met. They're planted there, like they make sure that they have some planted in every hospital.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. And
the entire hospital systems are all set up and controlled from the early inception of the hospital systems you have in place today, were set up and controlled by this group. You would know them. People call them the Illuminati. There's many names for them.
yes.
But they control all of the healthcare system from the beginning.
And with that, with the Illuminati, see, I don't share as all the information that I receive on a daily basis as far as the different battles that are going on. Earlier, you mentioned that there's so much more going on than we realize behind the scenes. So I thank you for confirming that from what I already received. And it's good for people to understand that though we don't want to feed fear into it, there is, unfortunately, some people want to believe in that, in the non-duality. However, there's many of us, you know, in dream time or even just within a shifting of our vibration, really countering these battles.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is very exciting time to see this unfold. We've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yes.
And we are very excited, as it were, to get to roll up our sleeves and get right in the middle of it, to be born and live in a human body on this planet at this time, so we could experience it from a first-hand perspective, as well as from the higher perspectives of the higher vibrations.
Yes. And let's see what else. I have just a few more questions. Now, I have a couple more questions on this, and then we'll move on to the questions that she has, okay? Thank you. Thank you for answering all these questions. I think humanity needs to know them in whichever manner they'll be delivered. Thank you, thank you. Now, as far as, say, what was it that you said that we can, how can we transmute the implants that are on our children?
So, energetic frequencies of crystals interrupt the implant's ability to affect the mind. Placing crystals at their bedside, underneath their bed, is one way. Put some in their backpack for when they go to school. Have them wear a crystal around their neck.
Yes.
But these crystals must be infused with intention of protection for the greatest benefit to occur.
Yes. Thank you. These are great techniques.
Eating healthfully and drinking lots of water helps as well, because this makes them more of a clear channel. It helps the crystals align their energy more easily. This may seem simple and seem like hocus pocus, but it is not. The science behind crystals, the science and the technology is not well understood by humans. Some of the most powerful protecting energy, the Herkimer diamond that Kimberly was led to buy.
Mm-hmm.
For the size, it's the most powerful for its size. Although crystal is beneficial, especially clear quartz for this purpose.
So would that also protect you from the frequencies of the media, those that we can't see or hear?
It mitigates it.
Mm-hmm.
It mitigates it, does help. All crystals help.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Now, is there a difference that they do, for example, to the 13-year-old shots? You know how the children turn 13 and the parents blame it, society blames it on, you know, they're just teenagers, they're wild and we can't control them because they're teenagers and their hormones. Are these flus, but they're giving them they're giving them shots, they're requiring it in schools to give it to them, you know, right around that 13-year mark. So is it connected to why they're acting this manner?
There is a strong connection, and the connection is that this is working with the child's hormones, these implants. They're timed specifically for that age to, I want to use the word, to channel the changes in the child's body toward this desired outcome, which is complacency, acceptance of the programming that's given them. So again, there's no one single thing that's affecting everybody.
Yes.
If children are not vaccinated, they don't have the implants. So the programming of the frequencies, whether they're watching television or listening to music or not, whatever frequencies they're exposed to, but the more they're around specific frequency emitters in their home, of course, has a greater effect, but these frequencies are everywhere. So it's a layer upon layer upon layer of an effect with all the different ways that and means which are used to control, but every piece of the layer that you're able to remove or to mitigate, you have that much less effect. This is why Kimberly chose to be born in a home where so much more protection and shelter was given. Still, she was unable to maintain purity from, as she was injected with shots and vaccines as a child and as an adult. She did drink unfluoridated water, well water, her whole life. That helped. These are just examples of ways in her home, different frequencies, different influences were eliminated, but not all. It's not possible to eliminate all.
Yeah. Now, could perhaps, for example, you know how I work with energy, could parents bring, first of all, very important, because I hear many stories and at times I hear parents bringing children to light workers, spiritual leaders that are actually working for the dark. And now they've done extra energy work on their children. But is there a way, if it's a light worker like that works from the heart, can we transmute those implants in the children? Can we remove them through energy, through frequency of love light?
So you are able to do this with energetic implants for sure. Physical implants, you have an effect on them, but take a multi-leveled approach. So your frequency interrupts those implants and sometimes causes them to have a complete, but not always. So just understand this. Your desire and intent to disrupt the physical implant is admired and appreciated, but its effect is limited.
Mm-hmm.
So parents need to take a multifaceted approach.
Mm-hmm.
Until a given implant completely becomes defected,
Mm-hmm.
not defected, unactivated,
It expires in a sense, right?
expired,
Mm-hmm.
or just gets destroyed. It can be destroyed. Sometimes you are able to destroy it. You can't guarantee, though,
Mm-hmm.
that at any given time you can absolutely destroy an implant. So this is why a multifaceted approach is the best, is
Yes.
ideal.
Yes, but would you say that, say, an extremely, powerful healer that lives in love light strongly, would they be able to transmute that implant out of there, deactivate it? But it would
They can zap it, as it were, and destroy it.
But it would take someone very powerful, right?
Very powerful. Mm-hmm. There are very few who can do this. So
I'm asking you because I'm asking you because you're telling me right now in my mind that I can do it. So that's why I'm asking you. Okay.
Okay. We would just caution your listeners. This is what I was going to say before you said that. We would caution your listeners because there are very few who have this ability. And so if you go to a healer who says they can transmute them, you may go to some who, in their desire and purity of heart, believe they can, but they may not be able to. So we don't want you to feel as if, now that there's a hierarchy of healers,
yeah,
in a sense, from perspective, but there is. Some healers are far more powerful than others. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't or couldn't be benefited by a level of power. It's okay. Just understand this. Yes, there are some that have more ability than others.
Yes. So, very good. Thank you. Thank you for confirming what you were saying. I never really thought of offering the service, but if I can help out children in whichever manner I can, I will.
Yes.
Thank you.
This will become easier and easier to do as Earth vibrations raise.
Yes.
Healers that now do not have the ability to do it will be able to do it soon.
Wonderful.
Everything is raising. It's affecting everyone.
Thank you. Now, thank you for all those answers. Is there anything else? We went into detail really there. Would you say, as her higher self, would you suggest for her to share this video to the public? I know this information is quite awakening, is multitude in awareness, and also has ways that we can help the children and help overall humanity. So would you suggest for her to share this video?
This is why she was prompted to come to you for this reading. And I would like for her to be willing to share it.
Oh, thank you. That means so much to my heart. Especially the aiding the from these, implants and so on, and especially the children. Thank you.
She needs to have her own children be brought for healing for this.
Yes.
or deactivation for this would be beneficial. Their implants are still active.
Okay. Thank you.